I'm Starborn. Remember, to be a star, you have to shine your own light, follow your own path, and not be afraid of the darkness, because that's when stars shine brightest. If you've been looking at our website, starborninstitute.org, you would already know that we are talking about a lot of light, because the title of the show is Softer Feelings. And that is because on Saturday, we are having a full moon, that's a lot of light, at 1 degree of Cancer. Well, the moon rules Cancer, so it's very strong there. And Cancer rules our emotions and our feelings. In fact, it's the traditional ruler of the 4th house of home and last half of life, so it also rules endings. But it rules our home, our family, our feelings, our emotions. It rules residential real estate. It rules the whole agricultural business and the grocery business. And it rules restaurants. Cancers are pretty good cooks. And it rules America and Canada, and it also rules Congress and unions. So this is a time when we can be developing softer feelings, and they can be around everywhere. And that is because there are 4 strong planets in the water signs, and they're in a grand trine. So that full moon on Saturday at 1 degree of Cancer is trining Venus in Scorpio, and together those 2 planets are trining Mars and Neptune in Pisces. So those are the 4 planets. And that simply means that a lot of people can be feeling, having softer feelings right now, and that can be quite helpful, particularly if you're trying to come to some sort of peaceful compromise, or you are trying to work out something, and maybe at a different time when you were feeling a little bit differently, something couldn't work out, but now maybe a plan could. And that would be just great. There's also the possibility that since there is a nice trine in the fire signs, because Jupiter and Mercury are both in Sagittarius, and they're trining Uranus in Aries. Since Uranus is the planet of sudden surprising change and it's in the sign of new beginnings, it simply means there's the possibility of a sudden new start that can come about now due to some sort of enlightenment or maybe better understanding among all kinds of people, and that can generate something pretty good right now. And so whether you're able to make some sort of sudden new start that you couldn't do before, or whether you are simply much more understanding not only of your own feelings but the feelings of others, this is just a great time to be more conscious and sensitive to the way all of us feel. And that's appropriate, isn't it? Because we're so close to the holidays. So this is a time when I think that with softer feelings, something can sort of go forward right now. Something that was a plan or an idea or even a problem that had been sort of stuck for a while. Now maybe with these softer feelings, you could advance and sort of surprisingly get something that is of benefit to everybody, some plan that everyone agrees to, which would be great. At the same time, we know that under a full moon, the moon opposes the sun. Well, there's more than that going on. Yes, that full moon in Cancer is very strong because it's at home in the sign it rules, but it is being squared by Uranus in Aries, and it's being opposed by the sun, which is at 1 degree of Capricorn. It has moved into that sign, and it has joined Saturn and Pluto that are also there. So there's 3 planets in Capricorn opposing that gentle full moon in Cancer. But remember, that full moon is pretty well backed up. It's being trined by a total of 4 planets in the water signs. So that's great. It does mean, though, that since Capricorn rules large government agencies and large corporations, and we are getting close to the end of the year, it simply means that regardless of these rather good feelings that we can share with each other, there can be a business matter that has to be faced, and something has to be done about it. Or there is just the possibility that some business decision that you have been mulling over for a while does have to be decided one way or the other, because it cannot be delayed. In other words, now that we're getting close to the end of the year, something does have to be decided. And so remember that even though with softer feelings, you may have to come to some sort of real decision about something, but because of the softer feelings, you and others could probably reach some sort of amicable agreement that actually wasn't possible before. And you know, they say that time heals all wounds. Well, but some wounds leave scars. And so even if you have been hurt by something and there's a scar to show for it, over time, you can grow beyond that. And maybe the softer feelings that everyone has right now can help us all get over something and be more understanding of each other. At least I hope so. All right, what does this mean to all 12 of the sun signs? Well, Aries, this is a time when there are actually 5 planets in cardinal signs in a harsh T-cross, and yours is a cardinal sign. So that Uranus, that unpredictable, volatile Uranus in your sign at the fateful 29th degree, is being squared by the full moon on Saturday, and it's also being squared by the Sun, Saturn, and Pluto in Capricorn. And that simply means that you'll have to try to work on some sort of resolution of a problem or of a challenge, either that you're facing at work or that you have in some sort of relationship of one kind or another. And I think that you can do that because your sign has some pretty good backup, Aries, and that is because Mercury and Jupiter in Sagittarius are trining your sun, and together, and Uranus, and those planets are also trining the sign of Leo. So believe it or not, with softer feelings around, there is the possibility that you can resolve something that has been sort of on the shelf or hanging for a long time, and now everyone can sort of give an inch and maybe get something done. And that would be good for you because business decisions or policy decisions really can't be delayed too much longer. Okay, what does it mean to a Taurus? Well, Taurus, this is a time when there is more strength fortifying you. And the reason why I say that is because the Sun has moved into Capricorn and is joining Saturn and Pluto, which are trining your sun sign. And the full moon on Saturday in Cancer sextiles your sun sign. Cancer rules residential real estate, our homes. But your sign rules commercial real estate. It rules apartment houses and shopping malls and office buildings and investments. So this could be a time, as you're thinking pretty long range about things, that you could decide either to put a little more money away for your retirement. That would be a good idea. Or you may be wanting to go for a promotion by working a lot harder right now so that you could afford something like a nicer home, because yours is the sign of the good provider. And I think you're going to be real busy in 2019 doing just that. And that would be an optimum year for you to be successful. So I hope you're planning to sort of get little things straightened out. And if anything's been delayed, why don't you take care of that too, Taurus, so that you can start the new year and really go forward. Okay, what does it mean to a Gemini? Well, Gemini, there still aren't any planets in the air signs, and so there aren't a lot of people coming up with new ideas right now. But that's all right, because you could really have your mind on home and family and feelings, particularly softer feelings. And that is because that full moon in Cancer is right ahead of your sun sign on Saturday, Gemini. And so you're going to get a real full and clear look of how the family's coming along, or what home conditions are like, or you can have a greater regard for our countrymen that are serving our country. Remember, Cancer also rules America. And so that's enough for you to be contemplating during the holidays. And so I think that you too can see the softer feelings around you, Gemini, and I think that you can be very agreeable to whatever's going on right now. And it can also help generate some sudden new beginning that suddenly everyone agrees to, because that Uranus in Aries is sextiling your sun, and the full moon in Cancer is right ahead of your sun sign. So there are definitely possibilities for growth, Gemini, but it would come from having softer feelings and particularly appreciating those around you. Okay, what does it mean to a Cancer? Well, Cancer, the full moon is in your sun sign. Lucky you, because there are 4 planets in the water signs all trining each other. So Venus in Scorpio, a wonderful planet that isn't being challenged by any other planet, is trining your sun sign, Cancer. So I think there's more money coming your way. Or if you are involved in something where justice has to be done, I think it's going to be done in your favor, which is nice. And then Mars and Neptune in Pisces are also trining your sun. And because Mars is trining Venus, and together they're trining your sun sign, it simply means that men and women can be getting along a little bit better right now. And that means that, you know, you could reach an amicable compromise or agreement or settlement with somebody right now, or you could instead be thinking of how to add to your home or even to buy a new home. That would be pretty nice, but it's all because of the softer feelings that are surrounding you, Cancer. So I hope you really appreciate this, and I think you're going to have a pretty good holiday. Okay, what does it mean to a Leo? Well, Leo, this is a time when I think that there could be a lot of enlightenment coming your way and much better understanding of an issue that has been sort of sitting on the fence for a while. And the reason why is that Mercury and Jupiter in Sagittarius, which would have something to do with enlightenment and knowledge and long distance travel, are trining your sun sign, and so is Uranus in Aries. And so that simply means through enlightenment and better understanding, there can suddenly be some new start now that everyone could agree to because it can benefit everyone. And maybe it couldn't happen before, but I think it can happen now, Leo, and that would be wonderful for you. It may help resolve something that could even have been rather costly or a little bit tense for a while and a little bit hard for you to reconcile this last year. But now I think that a lot of people have softer feelings, and that means something can be worked out. And so I think you can be pretty happy with the outcome. Okay, what does it mean to a Virgo? Well, Virgo, this is a time when, no, you can't trust everybody, because Mars and Neptune in Pisces are still opposing your sun sign, and Mercury, your own ruler, and Jupiter in Sagittarius are squaring your sun sign. But actually that full moon in Cancer is sextiling your sun. And Venus, which is in Scorpio, is also sextiling your sun. And a sextile represents opportunities. So you could certainly be able to understand the feelings of others better now. And you could also be having softer feelings yourself, which is great. And so, I mean, not everything has to have a logical answer to it. And so I think that if you stepped back a little bit right now, Virgo, and simply enjoyed the softness of the holidays and the goodwill and the good spirit that go with it, I think that that would be very relaxing for you. And you know, you can get back to solving problems in the new year. But for right now, I think you need a rest from all that, Virgo. So why don't you relax and just enjoy a good home life or nice family members right now. And they don't have to be direct family members. They could, remember, we are all part of the family of man. And so you could enjoy yourself anywhere if you wanted to. Okay, what does it mean to a Libra? Well, Libra, this is a time when I think you can be feeling some of the challenges from the fact that there are 5 planets in a harsh T-cross among cardinal signs. And so that means that that full moon in Cancer is squaring your sun sign. And so possibly not everyone is sharing the same soft feelings right now. And you could be seeing that family members who probably have very good feelings toward each other can be challenging you a little bit. Maybe there can be a little bit too much emotion going around right now. And then the Sun and Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn are also squaring your Sun, which means that you absolutely have to pay attention to business matters which cannot be put off or delayed any longer, or that could have something to do with government policies as well. And so you'll have to sort of tend to business even though you'd like to relax right now. And then Uranus is in Aries opposing your Sun sign, which means that at any time there could be some sudden new beginning that takes place based on better understanding and enlightenment. And that could sort of be to your benefit, or it could be to the benefit of somebody who has been coming and going in your life, and now maybe they see the light. It doesn't mean they'll stay, maybe they're going to go, but things could work out a little bit better due to softer feelings, which is great. What does it mean to a Scorpio? Well, Scorpio, this is a time when you can be very blessed and you could know it. And the reason why is because Venus is in your sign, and it's being beautifully trined by the full moon on Saturday in Cancer. So you could be rather pleased with your home or family members, and you could have softer feelings toward them, and they could be returning those soft feelings to you as well. And then Neptune and Mars in Pisces are also trining Venus in your sign, which means that men and women are seeing eye to eye a little bit more closely. They're a little bit more willing to compromise or agree on things right now, and that is good. So there can be softer feelings that could actually bring about some sort of reconciliation, or even through enlightenment and better understanding, it could bring about some sort of sudden new start that turns out to be beneficial for everybody. So, you know, miracles do happen, and they could happen right now. So there's actually nothing challenging your sign right now. And so I hope, since Venus is in your sign and it's very well fortified, that you decide to make peace, or decide to compromise, or decide to bring out the softer side of you right now, Scorpio, and keep that up, because that is what people are yearning for. So I hope you show them that your soft side is the one that you value and treasure, just as you treasure it in others as well. Okay, what does it mean to a Sagittarian? Well, Sagittarius, this is a time when you certainly can be filled with the holiday spirit, and you can be wanting to contact people in foreign countries, or people who have something to do with colleges and universities, or if you are involved in any kind of a legal matter, that is something that you could concentrate on in a very beneficial way right now. Because remember, with Mercury, the planet of the mind in your sign, and Jupiter, your own ruler, trining Uranus in Aries, there can be some sudden revelation that brings about a new beginning. And it's something that maybe was stalled, or it wasn't able to get through before, but now it can. And it can be something that is beneficial to young people like children, but also to people who are leaders. And those are people that you sort of need on your side as well, or team members. And so this is a time, Sagittarius, when you can really gather people to you, or you can seek enlightenment and better understanding and get it right now, which is wonderful. So I think there's a new beginning on your horizon, and I think that you're going to be really ready for it. Congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to a Capricorn? Well, Capricorn, this is a time when you are going to be almost feeling as if you're facing some sort of tug of war. And the reason why is the full moon in Cancer can certainly, it's very well backed up, and it can certainly emphasize softer feelings, particularly about home and family members and our country, and things that have to be sort of wound up or ended in one way or another. That those could all be things you want to work on right now, or others want to work on them with you. But the Sun now and the Sun and Saturn and Pluto are in your Sun sign opposing that full moon. So not everyone is going to sympathize with the fact that you could have your mind on business and on getting your records straight, and perhaps having to deal with some sort of government policy or business matter that cannot be delayed any longer, which is true. And then Uranus in Aries is squaring your sun, and that means you might have been making plans to do one thing, but suddenly something else could come up and you would possibly make a new start that you weren't quite planning on so soon. So all of those things can sort of throw you off a little bit right now, Capricorn. But on the other hand, your sign is tremendously strong because the sun has just come into it and is joining Saturn, your ruler, and Pluto. And so I think you're getting yourself ready in a very serious way for some expansion in your life or new start very soon. And I think it's going to work out real well for you. So congratulations. Okay, what does it mean to an Aquarian? Well, Aquarius, this is a time, once again, when there are no planets in the air signs, so there's nothing fortifying your sign, and Venus in Scorpio is still squaring it, and that simply means, you know, even if the money's coming in, the money's going to go out. But it could be because you're spending a little more on your loved ones, or there can be higher taxes or bills to pay, or the higher cost of credit. But on the other hand, Aquarius, you too can certainly benefit from the softer feelings that are all around right now. I mean, that grand trine in water signs involves 4 planets, and that simply means that men and women can be getting along a little bit better right now. They can be willing to compromise, and that's good. So as people sort of calm down because these softer feelings are around, that can allow you to more easily present your own points of view without any kind of challenge or argument. So that would be great for you. All right, what does it mean to a Pisces? Well, Pisces, this is a time when you certainly benefit from that full moon in Cancer because it rules the sign. So the full moon in Cancer is trining your sign where you have Mars and Neptune is the ruler of your sign. And then Venus in Scorpio is also trining the full moon and your sign as well. So with 4 planets in the water signs, yes, Pisces, you are going to be able to reach or have softer feelings and be able to reach some sort of compromise or a better understanding or enlightenment right now. And that maybe could get you over something that had been stalled for a while or that hadn't been working out or had been actually devious or contentious. I mean, Mars is still in your sign, but it's just about to leave. That will be a blessing for you, Pisces, and then you'll be able to calm down in your life a lot more. But for right now, I think that through a softer understanding of people's feelings and of how they feel about you, that things can work out a lot better for you, and that there can be some sort of compromise or even some a better understanding that leads to a sudden surprising new start. So I congratulate you for making it through this sort of a rough time lately. And now perhaps with this wonderful full moon, people can calm down and all have softer feelings toward each other. And remember, your sign rules forgiveness, and you're really good at that, so I hope you keep it up. All right, thanks so much for tuning in. And before we sign off tonight, I simply want to hope that you all have a very Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays, and that you enjoy the soft feelings around you and take advantage of them, because this is just a time of goodwill and good cheer. So I hope you enjoy that. All right, remember, you can see the show, read our blog, and hear our podcast on our website, starborninstitute.org.